righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass.
Alright, so it is currently 9:15 p.m. on Tuesday, the 26th of February. My hair's poofy. I kind of look like Michael Jackson, like the early days, like bad. I'm saying it's a good thing. So this is not going to be with the microphone. The last video, oh my gosh, that was a disaster. This is pre-game. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 we leave to get there around 11:30. That's the arrival time. So I'm very nervous. I had to take a bath with this antiseptic soap, or like something antibacterial soap that they gave me. So couldn't get, they said don't put it in your eyes or your nose or your mouth, so that I was like, oh geez. Yeah, taking baths is like a chore. It's so draining, but it was worth it because now I got this. I don't know if I can do anything with, no, that made it worse. Alright, well, since I can't eat anything past midnight, and then 2 hours before the arrival time I can't drink anything, so I made blueberry muffins, because I love Jiffy blueberry muffins. And I only ate one because I don't want too much acid in my stomach, so it comes up. They don't want anything like coming up when they're doing the procedure. So I'm just, the rest, one box, it doesn't matter. And the rest is for my mom and Kirsten and my dad for when they, either for breakfast tomorrow when they go to the, because they're going to wait 5 to 6 hours for me. And they might bump into Michael Leiter, which is, if you remember from my vlogs, he's, I don't know if I ever got him on camera. I took a picture every time he came. He was the worship leader at my old church, and he's gonna be there. His daughter has been having issues. I'm not gonna talk about it because it might be private. They're gonna be at the same exact hospital, which is an hour from where they live, and that's pretty awesome. So this, not great that she's going to the hospital, but it's an appointment, so they're gonna be there around like 1:30. So I'll be in at 11:30, and my mom and my family will bump into them and be able to say hey, whatever. So that's nice. Awesome blessing. I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight at all. Every night I go to sleep, I keep waking up without breath, and I think that might be some kind of sleep apnea or something. So it's never good when you wake up and you cannot breathe. It just occurred to me that I have to get an IV put in. I've been drinking because that's because of the fact that I have to get an IV in like really well the first time, but like I don't want my veins to be too tiny. But I completely forgot about it. Like, it's been so long. It hasn't been that long. I went to the ER for terrible dehydration. There's no good dehydration, it's just always terrible. They couldn't find a vein that was so tiny because I was so dehydrated, so they tried one side, and this one doctor was amazing. He got it like in the wrist. It was really painful, but he got it. So I wanted him to get it the first time, but I've been drinking like crazy, and I'm just not, I think it's just the antibiotics. They kind of make me paranoid, so I've just been really like anxious, and the anxiety's coming back, so I'm just really nervous about getting a like blood test, or even that, but like a needle. So there's a lot of stuff I'm scared of, like, you know, not waking up. That's pretty scary. I'm gonna go to bed in about 5 hours because I'm not really tired. And I'm just gonna play some Hollow Knight to keep my mind busy or whatever. Read my Bible and pray, and you know, ask God just to take care of my family and myself also tomorrow, and you know, God's will, you know, that's how it works. So I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. you doing? Happens 28 over Alright, today is day... What day is it? 1, 2, 3... Day 6 after the... whatever you would call it. So this is 6 days. I'm recording this after the procedure day for taking my teeth out. Basically, I just wanted to go over what happened, and then I'll talk about like how the progress was, maybe in another video, or maybe in this one if I could fit it. So anyways, if you don't know, basically what happened is my appointment to get my teeth extracted, about 6 to 8 teeth that we planned, was going to be pushed back like a month or a month and a half. I was having really bad days where I was just so, like, the pain was so bad that I couldn't sleep. I was basically screaming. I was in a corner in the bathroom, like, with my head against it, just, like, crying, and, like, I was sobbing, basically. I haven't cried that bad, and it's one of those cries that are, like on a 10 on pain scale. My mom called, and we got it changed to the 27th of February. Now that you got that in context, they told me that I could not drink 2 hours prior to the arrival time, which was 11:30. And I couldn't eat after midnight, which is pretty standard for, most of you know, it's usually an hour before for drinks. But anyways, I stopped eating around 9:30 the night before. We arrived 10:55, not 11:30, because we wanted to get there really early, make sure we got the appointment, like, we're in there, I can get the surgery done. After 30 minutes waiting after the arrival time, we started wondering, like, what's going on? Is it kind of taking a little long, to get going? So we went and asked, and they said that our arrival time was 11:30, but the actual procedure was at 2.
No!
No!
Oh, I was so... Let me fix the camera a little bit. It's a little weird. There we go. I was so hungry at that point already. Okay? I eat all the time. I mean, I look skinny. Look at, like, see my little twig arm? I eat constantly, and I was also very thirsty at the time, but that was like the least of my worries, because sometimes I go all day without drinking, which is bad for me. I drink like juicy drinks, but water I can just go like forever without, but I've actually learned to love it a little bit more. So knowing that I had to wait another like 2 hours was just crazy to me. So I just sat there, played Hollow Knight for a little bit, which kept my mind off of it, but knowing me, I don't like the stupid dogs. Moses! Ah! It hurts. Whoa! Everything bad's happening. So if you don't know, probably you don't, but when I go into like procedures, especially like recently, like in the past I never did this, when you put like, if there's a TV or something to do while I'm like waiting for a procedure or surgery or something, I cannot do it. Like, my mind is not going to be focusing on the movie. I can't enjoy it. I can't like play a game like I used to. So anyways, I was playing Hollow Knight. I was able to enjoy it a little bit. I went to the bathroom and I saw a phone booth, like a phone, an old phone that when before cell phones, kids. I'm 27, so I remember the times when we had these payphones. They're called payphones, I remember now. Why am I talking so fast? Ow!
There you go. Oh, look at this smart little girl. Come here. Come here, millennial. Come here. This, let me see if we can put this in here. I don't think so. Nope, 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 nope.
So we wait another 30 minutes after 2 p.m. because we're like, okay, it's time now. Then they say the room is still being used. I have a specific room that they're going to do the surgery in. It was still being used at that time. I guess it was running over, whoever had sometimes it happens. And that's when we find out that we were actually an add-on, up here, add-on, which is basically, they didn't plan on having me that day, but she tried to squeeze me in, and thank God, like, bless her soul. Before I go any further, though, I'm going to express any frustrations I had during that day was completely not against my surgeon / dentist, any of the anesthesiologists, the nurses, nobody. It wasn't anyone's fault, even the guy that was dying or whatever was happening. I feel bad for him. I should have asked. I just want to get that out of the way because it's just, I don't want to sound ungrateful. It had nothing to do with them. It was just, this is just how things went. So since I was an add-on, I wasn't guaranteed time there, which we didn't know. So we were like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? Around 3 o'clock rolls around and boom, they're like, come back to the pre-op. So we're like, thank God, because we're like, can't we just get to the pre-op so they can get the IV in? Because that's the thing I was like really nervous about, even though I'm really good about it lately. So we get to the pre-op and we wait there a little bit. So the dentist comes and tells me that we would not be able to probably do it that day. It's possible that it's gonna take too long. We could wait to see. It could be like 4 or 5 or even 6 o'clock that they'd start, which means they'd end at like 12 midnight. So it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put my family through that, even though they had no problem with it. I didn't want to just be there that long. I was starving. All I could think about was eating. So basically they brought us down. She said we could check for an appointment, the next closest one, and she found the 7th of this month. Which is March. Yeah, it's March now. And I was like, perfect, just do it. I want to go home and eat, and then I can avoid this a little longer. So we did that. Or no, we didn't do that. What am I talking about? I find out that my dad had to go to a military day in Tennessee that day. So that would have been fine and everything, but it was just very stressful. My mom started getting a little anxious, and she was like, oh my gosh, I paid $12 for parking for this. And, you know, there's just a lot on her at that moment. So she was just really frustrated. She went to go take a walk, and we decided before she went, we're going to wait 1 more hour. And I said, okay, fine. And I'm like dizzy. I'm like falling over. We wait about 25 minutes. Mom comes back, and she says, we're only waiting for 30 minutes. I'm like, Mom, we can do this. Let's just wait an hour. She's like, no, 30 minutes and we're done. We'll just come back to 7th. It's fine. She puts her head down and starts praying. And we're not one of those families that are like, you know, Joel Osteen, like, oh, prosperity gospel or God's a genie. But she put her head down and prayed, and I'm not kidding, a minute later her phone rings. If I wasn't there, I wouldn't believe it. I'm not trying to say this to sound, I hate those cheesy Christian movies that are like, pray and then something happens that's good. God does things for a reason. Sometimes, and you'll see why in a second. She put her head down, and phone rings, and they said, we got you, come up. Go up to the pre-op. I get an IV. Still got the thing, the little mark there. Yeah, that went pretty well. The nurse was awesome. Amazing. One of our amazing friends from our old church, the worship leader, Michael. He's been in like all my other vlogs. I haven't gotten a video of him because we're always talking and having such a good time. I was kind of out of it, so I feel really bad. But he came with his daughter. They had the same appointment. Her appointment was the day before. It got moved somehow to the day of, and we just an hour from where they live and an hour and a half where we live, in the same hospital on the same day, the same time. Amazing. And like I said, God loves chess. He just loves to put his little pieces everywhere, and then everything comes out so strange, and you can just see how he works. It's awesome. Then after we get recharged with Michael, the anesthesiologist, awesome guy. Nurse comes in, awesome lady. Dentist, amazing woman. I'll come in and tell me there's an emergency case. No! Ah! Ow! 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 That's what I felt like inside. I was screaming on the inside, like, what? But I shouldn't have been so selfish. I mean, someone just got, like, I don't know, shot, or their leg fell off. And I'm over here like, my tooth hurts. It was my whole mouth. Everything hurt. All my teeth hurt. But I'm not going to downplay. Someone was having an emergency, and I was complaining. I was having just an awful moment there, and I started crying. And right before they came in, actually, I was talking to Michelle, which is my best friend. I didn't want to talk at all. I felt terrible. But I started talking, and I got my mind off of it. We started talking about, like, the Twilight Zone, which I love that. That show's so weird. It's just creepy enough where it's just, like, everything's just kind of off a little. Anyways, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. That's for another episode. If you guys want to hear about Twilight Zone, I'll do, like, reviews or something. I don't know. It hurts to smile. They say you know, it could be 1 to 2 hours for that. And I was like, oh my gosh, come on. So I was like, I'm just going to wait 1 more hour. I'm just going to keep pushing it because there's a reason for all this. I'm starving. I just want to go home and have an egg sandwich, to be honest, at this point. I had crackers in the car. I had unsalted saltines in the car. All I wanted to do was rip open that bag and shove it all in my mouth. And that's all I wanted. Unsalted saltine. So we're waiting. I'm just like falling over. At one point I was like, I almost fell over. My mom had to like grab me, and she's like, Connor! Screaming it. Like, she always does that when like something scary happens. And I'm like, I can't do anything about it. I'm like dying. And she's just so scared. I know how it is because I do the same thing. 6:30 comes around, and they're like, it's time. Great. I was happy, but I was crying. Like, I didn't want it to happen. I almost wanted it to be pushed back.
Recovery in his hand. Grab your hands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Connor. Hold on. So give him a hug.
Timeshare. I'll give him a phone around to us.
Can you hold it? You have to like put me there. Just go.
Yeah, girl, it's just gonna be forever. For you, it's gonna be a microsecond. You'll be out. Sure.
I know. Okay, go
Hurry up
ahead.
before someone else
Go ahead.
comes.
So they asked me what music I want. They always do that. Like, I love this hospital because they always have like music playing, and then they're like, I was like, I want Africa by Toto. I do it every single time I go in there. It's been like 5 times. My mom wanted Amazing Grace, but it was my choice, and I'm sorry, Mom.
Just remind me when I get out.
I will. I love you, darling. I love you,
I'm okay
sweetheart.
to be in it. I give my permission.
Thank you. That's in my blog.
Huh? What
He
happened?
said he gives his permission to be in the video so I can put it
Yeah,
in
he
my
told
blog.
me I was in the video, so I was like,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, say hi.
Oh, hi.
I was actually hiding him.
Besides listening.
Yeah, he's
I
good.
was gonna say only the demands.
They won't recognize you.
Exactly. No one will be laughing.
Okay, go ahead,
All right,
darling.
you ready? What's your favorite type of song? What song?
Love you, sweetheart.
Love you, Mommy.
What song you gonna pick?
Yeah,
Africa by Toto.
Okay,
Oh, that's a
Africa.
good
That's our
song.
favorite song.
it's a good song.
I always pick that when we go in.
Our favorite song is Africa.
I have a lot of songs I like, but that's probably the one that's...
Well, mine is Amazing Grace, but anyway.
Fair enough. All right, we'll
Hurry
request
up,
that
get this
song,
over
okay?
with.
All right, guys.
Oh, you're going that way? Okay.
Yeah, we're going this way.
Love you.
Love
God bless
Connor.
you.
We're here.
So they give me some happy medication. My teeth start chattering, like not like speaking, but they were just like, I don't know why. It was like I was freezing. They put the mask on. My dentist was like, I don't think I know that song. And then I was like, oh, you'll know it when you hear it. And then the other lady's like, yeah, they're all agreeing. And then she's like, can you sing some bars? I'm like, of course I can. And I start singing like 2 of the things. I think it was a medication. I probably would have done it anyways. I sang it, and then they put the thing for the air because you have to bring oxygen in your lungs to fill them up really big. And I start. They're like, okay, here we go. Put in the medication. One of it like stung really bad. And I was like, dang it, ow! And they're like, are you okay? I was like, it just hurts. Like, I was getting ready to cry, but then they put in the good stuff. I was like, just put it slow. And then he's like, are you ready? I have no idea why I did this, and the reason I remember is because they told my mom and Kirsten and my dad, and I remembered doing it after they told me, but I thought it was a dream. I did a thumbs up and a hang 10 symbol for some reason. I don't know. And then I woke up, and I was in minimal pain. They put an ice bag around your face, and you only use that for about 24 hours, 8 to 24, and then you just don't use it anymore, apparently. And yeah, it really was weird, and I woke up without 11 teeth. Also, I forgot that part. They took 11 teeth out. That was the big thing of this video. 11 teeth. That's why I'm talking so weird. See right here? This tooth? See right there? That's it. I'm like a cartoon character. Look at all that. All gone. 2 impacted wisdom teeth. That means they were underneath on the bone. They took them out. I had major surgery and I didn't even know about it. So now I have all those teeth gone. It's so hard to eat. And I'll tell you about that in the next video because this one's already going to be so long. But I just want to tell you guys, I'm going to do like the week of after. And then I'm going to also talk about like how it is getting fitted for the denture stuff. My appointment's on the 12th, the next one, 12th. Like talking like Sylvester from Looney Tunes. But man, I've been so hungry. I just want to eat an egg sandwich that my mom makes. She puts like an English muffin with yellow cheese and an egg, and it just tastes so good. And I just want that more than anything. Oh, but I can't. It's just none of it's fun. I gotta let everything like soak in there, and it hurts. Like you can feel all there's stitches like all in there. And it just there's some moments where it just starts throbbing and hurting and stuff. But it's good. It's over. Thank God. Oh my gosh. It was just oh my gosh. I did not expect to wake up with like this whole. I was not prepared for this. I was prepared for 6 to 8 teeth. I was thinking maybe 6. I was thinking very positively. Should have overdone it. I didn't think all the way to 11 and 2 basically wisdom teeth removals and 1, you know, it's just so much to wake up to. It's just crazy. So that's my life now. I learned that dentures are really weird and they like slide around sometimes and food gets under them and I don't know. It's just, I'm not looking forward to it, but I want to eat. I heard that food doesn't taste the same. This is the journey. We're going to find out together. Like my Vans hoodie, I love it. I love it. I'm in pain. I'm fine though. I'm really okay. I'm really okay. Okay guys, this is it. I'm just gonna end the video now. This has gone on too long. I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know why I say I'll see you guys, and then I say I'll see you soon. I should say one. I'm blurry. Of course, it gotta be blurry once. Anyways, I'll see you soon.
Now I can feel the fire burning deep within me. I'll be the hero and no one can stop me. Loudly I will scream it from the top of my lungs. You got those tired eyes from crying every moment. You cannot hide it, someone's gonna notice. So be a hero, no one's gonna hurt you again.
I just want to tell you guys that potatoes, mashed potatoes from KFC, they are a lifesaver. I love them so much. Oh my gosh, so good. Anyways, that's it. Bye.